Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Odds episode. Five head to draft. Not exactly sure because we're going to be joined instant. Now, for those who haven't seen, actually just another month ago, this will be my second one that I online. I do have some more content coming. Top 10 list, fishing, fades, all these things. Um, if you're new to fantasy baseball, it's a fantastic avenue to kind of read watching it different invested in. Um, I'm a huge fan of this stuff. I've been doing it, and I've gotten pretty good. Gotten pretty. I'm in level, whatever the highest level manager. I've got a lot of experience doing this here. So for those who are watching this, if first year doing fantasy baseball and you want um, content and stuff, I suggest that you subscribe to the like the video. And you have a baseball specific sports channel. I urge you to go to the baseball channel. Well, I will be moving as a season. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in draft. So click on draft. Large this what's going on. So with Yahoo, actually, no, this might be a. But we're gonna find out. Oh yeah, it says right down. Peak settings, 10 team standard draft. Draft is soon. And jump in. 9 out of 10. I'll go over some strategies throughout this draft here. That we stay ahead of um, draft, but more importantly, biggest thing active. We're not going to win draft night. Certainly, they're a lot better if you hot hitters or prospects, or pitchers. Talk about all that kind of. Okay, so the draft is now loading. lobby here. There we go. So I'm actually, if I saw that, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I am the second. Got about six drafts start, so it's gonna start pretty much right at 7, which is good. What I was hoping for. And so you'll see going through the list here again. If you're new at this, I'll quick with how the draft works. On the left hand side, you'll see draft order. So I'm going to be picking second. My Speedy's actually not. We're going to be, but so I'm going to be picking second in one, which this being a snake draft, second to last, second. So when my turn comes up on the main panel here, you'll see players. I'll basically pick. Now this is a points league, which I think I did a points league in my other live draft. What I highly suggest that you load up hitters primarily gets you the majority of your points. Now I'm not saying this in this more pitchers altogether. As a matter of fact, I keep a very small bench in head to head. So I will have my hitting lineup fill the rest with pitch. This league, it doesn't really matter much if you pick up starters or relievers because they're all going to be roughly the same either way. Um, but yeah, you definitely want to try and load up on as many as possible from the. So I'm going to quickly go through some of the positions here. If I can, guys, who I'm looking at. I do a queue. So usually with the queue, look at players ranked 100 or more, like them, team. I'm going to put a star next to them. So for catchers, there isn't really many catchers out there that are sleepers. I like Tyler Stevens. I don't pick up a catcher throughout the draft. I don't mind picking up State. But really for catchers, what I'm looking for are ones that are going to get me a Wilson Contreras for this season. So the fact that his bats are going to be 6. So he's a great target for kind of the middle rounds. All on him. That's a really like Logan O'Hoppy as well, because I imagine he's going to quad. So we're going to go to first baseman here. First base is a pretty sparse category. Cody Bellinger, I like. Jake Berger is probably the well. He's going to be a pick. Have him, I think, in one. He makes a really good pick for later on. Brendan Lau, another good one here. He's going to well. The move defenses. They're in it. Sorry, they're in a different ballpark because Florida destroyed the Diamonds. Minor league done. Yankees Stadium blueprint. So I would be giving all the left-handers on quad boost Brandon Lau. He's a good one to target there. Let's jump to second baseman here. I don't think I'm gonna have time to go through all of them. Jordan Westberg, I don't mind. He's actually Baltimore. Yeah. Let's go to third baseman here. Isaac Paredes, now a member of the Houston Astros, going to either. Let's go to shortstops. I like Bo Bichette. I think he's going to be trying. Matt McLean's another good one. A lot of people are kind of overlooking. This you'll see that the shortstop position is very deep. Likely going to be if I can get Bobby, I'm going to pick him up. But there's going to be probably 4 or 5 shortstops to, or for sure 5 potentially. Outfielders. Scroll down here. I like Dylan Cruz. I like Adolis Garcia. Mike Trout might be healthy. He's got a huge. I don't mind picking him up this year in 10th, 11th round. I think definitely a lot of high upside. Josh Lau, there he is. He's um, starting pitchers. Um, yeah, there's a few of them. Joe Ryan, I think is Roki Sasaki. I mean, pick him up at um, your risk because I don't know if he actually uh, pitching this pitch. And finally, for relievers, I'm going to go Jeff Hoffman, uh, Tanner Scott. Done in 4. All right, so it's my turn here. Let's go back to all the players. And there's Bobby Witt Jr. We're going to go ahead and draft him with first pick here. Draft. Gunner ahead of Bobby all day. Hey, Uncle Ted. Jolis Garcia can't hit right-handed pitching. Well, yeah, he had a rough time with that there last year, but I think that's an aberration. Uh, I don't mind him at the discount. I always like looking at guys who coming off I can get. And the big part about this format as well is don't have strikeouts. You don't consider strikeouts a player like Julio Rodriguez, for example, actually mean if this league included strikeouts, he probably a 4th, 5th round. Can go ahead and up guys like without having to work. Juan Soto is actually there that I thought he would be. Um, okay, so for the first part of the draft, a little. Oh yeah, the first part of the draft here. What I will do is I'm basically just concentrating on best players available. Hunter Henderson, for example, they still sit. Um, Uncle Ted, if you're in uh, this league, I'm sure you would have probably going to go. But yeah, I'm basically just picking up the best players available. Try not to overlap my positions as much as possible. But I'm certainly hoping to be uh, many of the best players as I can. And again, I'm trying not to focus on pitchers so much. So Tariq Skubal, Paul Skeens, like your top tier pitchers that you. I don't mind passing on those in this format because rest assured I should have pitchers competitive. Okay, glad that was pipe dreaming, hoping to see stick around draft him, but going to be the case. I've been pretty lucky in the majority of my drafts. I've high. Well, I've gotten a lot of shares of Yahoo. I think third. I never got the first pick, but I think three, four actually many. But nevertheless, I'm good with. Read an article I think yesterday or today, ESPN. Uh, Baseball pundits were. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't ESPN. Yahoo were picking Bobby Witt over Shohei Otani because with Shohei now pitching, he's away potentially from plate. What they were saying are crazy season last year, where most people were expecting him to duplicate haircut of number one out to be in ESPN leagues where you can as both a pitcher and a hitter, and it's there 100% all day every question because pitching and hitter spot. If he's not pitching, but in Yahoo, that's not the case. They've got a separate hitter and pitcher for Shohei Otani. You have to draft both if you have him both. I'm fine with not solidifying Otani as the both Skeens and Ball are off. I'm gonna be picking I will look at picks. And there's a few good outfielders that I likely one possibly. Thank you guys for oh, it's my turn to draft. So J Rod's out. We're gonna go ahead and draft Jordan Oliver. Fine with that. Okay. So I got a top flight outfielder. Jordan, Bryce Harper, and Jim. Already have a short. I want the best second base. I think Jackson average draft position. This one here, this is a little bit trickier because my gut's telling me tell March just because there's shortage of premium second baseman. If I can get top second, kind of get me. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up March. Not, I don't love that pick, um, but there's just not a whole lot of guys, not a whole lot of second basemen out there. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah. So this is your I'm watching us, or you've been watching me for a while here. I appreciate a little bit of love. If you can like this, if this is your first channel, I will be putting out fantasy baseball long. As a nice little news here, I've joined up with um, a network that's going to be launching here second channel. You guys enjoy. Oh, times I have to ask their forgiveness what it's called there, but I'll have a post up. But yeah, I'm doing basically covering their and their fan channels on. Yeah, if anybody here has any questions that they want to ask about the upcoming baseball season, a lot of really cool storylines now. Um, one that I'm looking at, and this is probably because I was invested in it hard. I had been following Roman Anthony, his progression stock system, and judging by some of the moves that Boston looks like, that's a he must have done something. That's that's brutal. They're actually saying that Stan plagued with. At any rate, yeah, Roman Anthony's really lighting it up here in the minors over the last couple of seasons. Now he's Boston. There is a path for him that they'll have to make. If he doesn't show up, I would be shocked if he does. That's crazy. Ozzy Albies gets picked as the first Atlanta off the maybe trying to see Matt Olson. Okay, so we're 3 picks in so far. Pretty happy with this here, but like really, really and truly, I'm not too concerned about the first 7 or 8 picks. It's more when you get to like the middle rounds where you flex uh, muscles there a little. So I've got my turn. I'm hoping that Ronald or Austin Ryan, they are. One of them is going to 100% for sure. I don't mind picking up Acuna. I know he. Oh, I was really hoping to get Austin Ryan. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pick something here. A bunch of pitchers are out there. Might have to bite the bullet and get one. Corbin Burns on the downswing. Uh, yeah, it's a point. I'm gonna go Bert because guessing he log more than Bert. Oh, I must have missed it because it does look like uh Matt Olson. Well, you know what? Since Burns is out there too, let's go ahead and get him. So I kind of Not too happy about how those last two picks. I would have rather have picked up one starter in Austin Riley as my third baseman, but que sera, sometimes your best plans don't quite work out. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it though, because it's always good to have top flight starting pitch on your team. They don't score you as many points in this form. So I'll be focusing my efforts on going. If you guys are watching this live, thank you. If you're watching this on, thank you as well. Feel free to leave some um curious about your thoughts on is what's your favorite format? Yahoo just launched points league, did for basketball um back in the fall. They're doing jury's out for me. My favorite is head to head category. That's what I do often, but I don't mind point. I like the concept. I like the idea. But it doesn't replace categories. I like guys that are players and try to hit for a high average. That way, I category. Here, you don't categories any possible. So I don't mind it. I don't mind the idea of it. Not my favorite, but it works. Lots of relievers kind of lined up here again. Afterward, well, actually, I should have to at least spots. So I'll probably pick up one of them, then I'll pick up. I've got a couple that I'm looking. Brent Rook is one of them. I really like his outlook. And again, a different ballpark. It's not going to be one that's going to rent him away, but it should improve his average or his hits, I guess. So you'll get points that way because, of course, one Coliseum is that foul territory field on its own. So now that they don't have that popping out, so that's going to keep that going and like road. So I'm banking on Brent Rook and pretty much any athletics player hitter hitting for fire out this season. All right, so it's my turn here. We're gonna go ahead and grab Brent Rook. It looks like people aren't picking up relief right now. A huge run on them. I think I'm gonna pick up a player that I really have on and reach a bit for him. ahead and pick up Christian. Reason why I'm getting him again, well, pretty understandable. He's going to be hitting in a ballpark. He's a pull hitter with power, hitting in a ballpark that is board pull hitters with power. Right? I like I like the idea of Christian Viking hit third. How else do you have Jose LG 5'8"? Now we're going on like I've done 7 picks. This is going to be the point where start looking, trying to fill out positions. I'm going to prioritize, you know, hitters first, and then we'll. Right now, my biggest thing that I'm gonna have to relative couple that are still out there that I like. Isaac Paredes is one. At Jordan Esper, Jake Berger, Mark Viento is actually not a bad option. Hitting damn Toto probably gonna be hit. So nevertheless, that's Junior Caminero is actually one that I'll take a look at if he's Eugenio Suarez had a killer last season. I don't know if I'm really in much though. Josh Young is another one that people are kind of just got very like he got 20 120. That's not that far off. I think that certainly that off here. So there's a few third basemen getting. I like the idea of getting Jordan West very second base eligibility as well in a league like this where I really want to have that flexibility and have it keep it short bench, having those players play multiple. Absolutely. All right. So now, as I figured, the run for started 5. So it's thinning out the Leaf pitchers here a little bit, which is good. But as mentioned here, like if I end up with Tanner Scott and Jeff Hoffman, happy, happy with that. Better than wasting a pick early. Other guy. Again, I wouldn't use a strategy typically with category leagues. I would have picked up in my last round relief pitch or closers. Had a list of. Um, Now I'm trying to let it run. So there is Felix Bautista. He's coming up 78, so he's right around. Might be one. Wyatt Langford's actually sitting out there in 6 picks, 4 picks, then that might like Langford. I like James Wood. Both of them are going to power speed threats. Again, you're not going to be scored a little bit differently. Um, Points, it's not as big a deal. How many stolen base stats? But if you can tap into categories, it's just score out quite a bit. I like both of We'll see kind of what happens if I can get one of them there. Happy with getting one of them. Not going to be Langford. I was hoping for Langford. Would. You know what? I'm going to take a chance here. We're going to take a chance on James. Sucker for young hitters. Although there's always that sophomore slump. Got to watch out for. But I think Wood's talented, and he's going to be hitting towards the middle. Cody Bellinger is. Um, I don't normally take. If I pick up a reliever, I miss out on West. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the third baseman spot there. Yeah, if you're watching this back here, and if you see any picks that I missed or you got different um, ideas about there, I'd love your feedback. So please leave comments either in the stream or if you're watching it after fact. There, I respond to pretty much everything. So I've pretty successful in filling out my roster. I've got just a catcher, which I don't mind catchers, Salvador Perez, for example, and I've got two util spots here. So I've done basically what I set out to do. Uh, and I've got solid pitchers. So I don't mind how this is going. There's still work to do, sure. But at this point here, where I'm spots, filling in holes for positions. Um, as I was mentioning there before, in this league, in any head-to-head league, what I use is I will um, draft a short bench for my hitters, pitchers. Yeah, is I want to stock up as many pitchers as possible for the week. And I can do that by having more pitchers on my in, and also I will rotate through waiver wire pickups. It's I'll rotate them, try to find quality pitch start pitch start of the week. That's basically how you're going to points. If you and I see this all the time, managers will pick up a bench for hitters, and sure there are going to be use them, but let's say 70% of the time they're going to be out of the game if you got bench. They're basically points do had starting pitchers instead. You know that you're going to be able to use it. So for those who are new at this here, probably one of the biggest tips I can stock up on pitchers in most leagues, most formats. Definitely not stock up with as now. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not doing get go. I'm going to towards the end of the draft. Almost going to be pitchers here soon. Judging by my team, really only need to pick up maybe hitters. So catcher, Bill's likely going to infielder, bench. That's plug in. Um, Once I have that, then I'll be. And then the rest of it there, I've got 4 more bench I can fill out here. Those are all. They should all be pitchers. If everything goes. That's how it's going to work. So yeah, when I get around this part, um, this is when I I start to really a little bit of traction. How I want to the first 7 or 8 picks. Everybody's gonna try to roster it like within the but it's picks that you after that where you really can find like rough. Um, that's when you benefit. I have a feeling that Ben's bullpen is just picked up Paul Goldschmidt. I don't know 5 years ago, that's a good pick. Now barely a but I mean he's playing in New York. Who knows? Have a resurgence. I can't remember. Certainly not somebody that I'm looking at. Maybe I'm missing something. You guys think Paul Goldschmidt savvy? Let me know. Meanwhile, kind of stuck how all right. So 6 more picks until my selection. 5 more picks. Um, Salvador Perez is sitting out. No, he's not. He just got picked. Caminero sitting out. Felix Bautista. Felix Bautista. Uh, I think it's still that. That gives me. If I miss a second one draft, I don't have to worry about it. For those who may not know Felix Bautista, he wasn't pitching last year because John, he was arguably the best pitcher in the league years ago. Now that he's covered and expected well. Yeah, there's doesn't look like there's any restrictions here. If you're looking to pick up a reliever and you miss out on the first guys, pick Felix Bautista. Basically, like one of the first 5 or 6 guys, and I would almost put money on the fact that if he's healthy, top reliever. Draft slowing down here a little bit. The baseball drafts, there goes. All right, well, don't have to worry about him now. There is a player that I see that I have starred that I'm going to likely I can pick up. That's Junior Caminero. Now, I was mentioning Tampa Bay hitters before. They're moving park that's basically that's a pretty big boost from Tropicana Field, Tampa Bay. So, picking up Tampa Bay hitters actually makes Caminero. He's young, got a ton of power. Likely going to be hitting in the top third. I really like getting him this season, especially in the field to get him. I'm gonna go ahead and draft Junior. I'm gonna slot him in probably as my and then I turn West. Oh, my turn to draft already. Okay, so Luis Robert is out there. Gainer Diaz is there. There. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and one of those hoping for a bounce back season for a healthy from him, hoping he can cut down on that strikeout rate again. If this is a strikeout league, I'd be more hesitant, but it's not. You're just counting stats, no strikeouts. I like Robert's potential. I don't think we've seen what he can. Hopefully, this is there goes Roki Sasaki right about now up in Mo. Hope you guys are all doing great here today. Shout out to wherever you're at. Appreciate you guys watching it. Are kind of smack dab in the middle of the draft. There's mostly hitters. Was Jake Berger. Like to have targeted draft here, but I don't mind so much because now I've already got two players that can play third. I don't necessarily need one. But I do need the first baseman or a short. So I might get it. My plan's kind of working here. If my turn comes around here and that's still Bichette and Tanner Scott or Hunter Green, those three. Vinny Pasquin, well, because following Bobby Witt's lineup bode very well for. All right, we got 7 picks before I pick. They're both of in range. Yainer Diaz is still sitting out there too. And if Diaz is available, that might be my first pick. I love that short porch and right left, so that's gonna project it for now. Yeah, he didn't walk a lot at all. Oh, he only had 580. So I mean that's not very good. You little have a little bit more. you can't judge the man for his contact. Probably, I think he had the best batting average for catcher last season. 175 hits. Oh, there goes. Don't have to worry about him. My next pass through. All right. Well, plan worked. Let's go ahead and pick up Bo Bichette, shortstop. Don't mind that one bit. My turn again here, and the other player that I was really at was Tanner Scott. So I think I did pretty well with my 12th and 13th. I think the Dodgers are going to win a ton of games. They've got an insane bullpen. Tanner Scott's not necessarily going um save every game, save every game Dodgers, but he's going to be involved late inning, likely going to be majority of the save. Um, but he's definitely going to be okay. Some more starting pitchers because I'm going to have to start looking at starting pitchers now. Spencer Strider again, injured player, but was arguably the best pitcher years ago. Um, going to be one that I'm going to try to target. Picks. What else we got? Shane McClanahan. That's a really good pick to take a look at. Got Ryan Wu, good one here. Kodai Senga is a good. Jared Jones, a lot of people are high on him. John Dominguez is a good. Might be acting or lead for the. Or they might try him. At leadoff, I don't know if that's gonna stick. Gotta really. He actually, I shouldn't say that. He has walk. So hopefully he'll be on base enough. Have him stick there. Andy Alcantara, one that I like. Bobby Ray, especially pitch. He's arguably a top 20. Him up. Bounce back season. Kevin Gausman, maybe. Both else. Ankles got lit. I don't know. I've never been a big Ronell Blanc. I don't like his fast pace, although he, to be honest. So I don't know if I'm going to be him. Taj Bradley, I've been high on him for a while. Hopefully, Brandon Woodruff is somebody that there we got a few. I'm picking in two picks now. There's a couple of really good picks out there. We'll see if one of these happens to fall to me, I'd pick up 100%. I think I'm gonna get Contreras to finish off my hitters, and then I'm just gonna probably do. Oh yeah, so if you take a look at what Walkoff Robert is doing here, hopefully he pick up the. But he's basically filled out his uh cutters first, so doing what I've been recommending. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get longest strike first month. You know what? Let's get green. I like I like the idea of picking up Spencer Strider. Goes Alcantara. We're gonna go ahead and get Contreras. So now I've basically my hitters concentrate. I'm sure that a lot of the starred are picks, but I'm hoping that there's still a couple. Out Spencer Strider will be much. Out Shane Flanagan will be either of the time for me to pick. There definitely be. All right. The reason why I don't mind picking up Spencer Strider, even though he's hurt and missing head-to-head leagues, all that really matters is what happens once you. If Spencer Strider is going to be a month, but he's available for I need him to it's on my patient last 8. In my I want to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. If you're watching this, I if this is your first time here, that's that way basketball and do. I have it kind of blend that will change basketball dedicated. Um, but I will be posting stuff here. All right, so we're gonna be getting one of oh, not Spencer Strider. We're gonna be getting Shane McClanahan, which I'm fine with. I was hoping to get Strider, but I'll take. Now we're gonna go ahead and get Jeff Hoffman. Finish off my. I didn't think I was gonna get both. Happy I got one. Actually, I thought I wasn't gonna get any. Very happy. I've got one, two, three, five, six left to fit, and it's all gonna be pretty much unless I happen to like. There isn't really I have up have any. So I'll likely be more than likely crazy happens out on there. I'll do like it's just have you guys been on the Yahoo drafts or maybe ESPN or major platforms? Curious to see what thoughts are, what your favorite type of league is, what your favorite type of draft is. Um, I've been pretty much doing a draft at this point. Will be putting up. I will be doing auction drafts for the beat the odds baseball league. Got it both Yahoo and ESPN. I've actually got a spot open in both of those leagues. So if you guys are interested, this will be the second year that you're interested in joining the league. Feel free to reach out to me in the comments. Think get in. I'm actually going to be giving away um, baseball slabs to the winner. The league is free to join, no payment, and it's just a good way to have a little bit of fun here. Both the leagues were actually quite competitive. One. Okay, it is my turn to draft. We're going to go ahead and pick up Robbie Ray. And now I'm ADP telling me to get. where I kind of agree with that. I think I'm a bigger fan of average draft position than I am of simply because average draft position has wonderful aspect of having every single one. This is they've had 55,000 so far. That's a lot of depth. True. They're basically ranking where each player has been drafted. All of the kinds of fantasy baseball who have drafted on Yahoo have drafted. I swear by that. The expert rank sometimes skewed by the author or the expert. Sorry, um, and sometimes I don't agree. Hey, so I would be much more open to kind of seeing the world there feel more comfortable. So you'll typically see me highlight category blue just to kind of where people have been drafting. Pardon me. Yeah, so we're now. I didn't really mention this, but we've been in the back end of the draft here for rounds now. Based on my strategy, back end of my draft, so I think we pretty good at. I've been pretty good at doing. Definitely liking how this draft has got some, middle round risk and a guy like Shanahan, a guy like Robbie Ray, who had hoping for a resemblance of a healthy season. And if I get a healthy season out of either of them, there it could end up being. Shanahan was one of the best pitchers in the AL, and of course now at park that's not as favorable for starting pitchers, but I think he's still multi way talented. He's got enough talent there to be changed to that. Returning back from it is always a little bit of that's a little scary for the first while until you get improved. But all right, we're kind of flying through the draft now. We are, like I said, 4 picks left. I got 3 pitchers on the board. I'm gonna click on Shane Baz here. Choose 3 Tampa Bay starters that are Spencer Eric Getty. I don't know if I'm going Zach Eflin or box down. I don't really know if that's the way. Like Nick Lodolo, but and he's coming off of injury. Well, I'll have to see. I haven't really Walker Bueller in Boston. Surgeons for him. Boston's not exactly a good park for pitchers, though. Stay away from start Fenway Park. All right, we got 2 picks. I think I might be going Luis. Well, he's got that strikeout potential. I mean, he may fade down the stretch. He has many years where he was injured. I think 2 or 3, at least 2. Okay, let's go ahead and pick up Bill. I think my next one, Sean Mania is a good pickup, but he just recently probably gonna be weak string. Yeah, he's gonna have a slow recovery. Yeah, I really just care about the back end of the draft. So I talk myself out of it and then but like Shane Baz is just a little bit better. So go ahead and pick. But Sean Mania, again, he's not a bad pickup for late in the draft. Don't be scared of the injury, especially if you're in head league when you need him the most. Actually put together a really, really. Let's click on those 20. Yeah, 184 strikeouts, 180. No, his walk rate was a little high, but kept his earned runs back and stuff. Good pickup. MS Sam M's good. That's a good pickup. I don't mind that. We got 2 more picks left to go. One thing that I this league I'll do just to kind of get a reference. I don't pay too much for that I'm but that's likely because the majority of players are picking up bench hitters. So I mean, you'll I was just kind of talking about walk off Robert. His stats are going to be higher because they're counting all the. As I mentioned before, your in your pitchers. But I don't really pay too much attention for this here in points leagues. Category leagues, it's a little bit of a difference. Um, you're covered in each counting category. Here, I think I'm going to, as long as I stick to. Got 2 more picks left to go. How this, and I'm really just picking pitchers. I'm going to take a look at like his Affleck picks. Nate Eovaldi's another one that I like the idea of picking up Brandon Woodruff simply because he's going to start the season. That might be what I do. Just so that way I can carry an extra pitcher for. Yeah, we're counting down to the end of this draft. Jonathan India, I didn't really talk much about him, but he's likely going to be leading off for Kansas City. It's a really great part of draft. Again, I was mentioning that second base is pretty thin. Um, if you miss out on a bigger guy, I think you might actually be pleasantly surprised how John this season top that can. As long as he can stay there, if he can get in front of Bobby Witt, then India is banger at the end. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and fight the bullet. Zach Eflin. At least he pitches a lot of innings. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick up Brandon. That's going to basically do it here for this draft. Let me guys my So I did exactly pretty much what I was hoping to do here. I filled my squad with hitters first, so I've got basically quality guys in each position: Contreras, Walker, Marte, Westberg, Witt, Alvarez, Rooker, Wood, Caminero, Robert is on my Bobichette's on my bench. So in at any given time, I've got a backup second baseman, third base, shortstop, basically throw in. That should help me out. I'm hoping that some of these guys will get a little or first baseman as well. We'll cross that bridge through. And then I filled up the rest of it for pitchers. I picked up the relievers actually that I was hoping to get. I ended up getting so that, and I didn't really have to far for either of them. Tanner Scott happened to follow my left exactly when I wanted him. Very happy about that. And then Jeff Hoffman, happy with. And then of course I've got quality starting pitching here in Gilbert and Burns. They're league. And then I've got a bunch of really good guys here towards the middle. Green, I think, is and should have a nice. Robbie Ray will have a nice. Rest of the guys. So pretty happy with how this went here. Let me know what your thoughts are in chat or in comments below. But that's going to pretty much do it here for this episode. Thank you guys for watching along here with us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done. Like the stream. I'm going to sign off for now, but I will be back with more content here